Oh, we are live. Okay, we are live right now. Hi, welcome to Computer Pile Author Interviews. We are excited today to have Tameka Goods here with her book, um, A Mother's Prayer. She is an excellent author. I'm a little biased because she is my sister in law. So I am so excited that she has taken time to allow us to interview her this morning. So we will get started and bring her in. So before we get started here, I want you to just take a look at our few things here. Give me 1 second here. Hold on. Here we go. All right, we are back, and there she is, Tameka Goods. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing just fine. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. I tell you, I appreciate you taking the time out to stop by and share with our listeners and viewers today about your book.
You're
Um,
welcome.
well, as I told everyone, you're my sister-in-law. I just wanted to start by saying I just remember meeting you when you was a little girl and your sister Tanya bringing me to the house. And I tell you, you were just all over the place.
I was.
One of the
I
things your
was.
sister told me a lot is she said she remembered you growing up teaching to little like stuffed animals and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
So, going on that theme here, if you would let our visitor or our listeners know what you do for a living.
Well, I am in education. I think I'm going on my 18th year. I started off as a fifth grade teacher for a few years and went into an instructional coach. And now I'm currently an assistant principal at South End Elementary.
All right. And I know you just actually got a nice surprise this week. You want to share with us what that surprise was?
Yes, my peers and colleagues nominated me as Assistant Principal of the Year, which was very surprising and shocking. I knew I was up for the nomination, but I just did not know that I was the winner. I went up against some very other great administrators at that time. So I was just very humble,
Oh man.
speechless when they came in, and very surprised.
Oh wow. Yeah, I saw the video. It was awesome and well deserved.
Thank you.
It just takes time to get, where you need to go, and it was your time.
Right.
So that was
Yeah,
good.
right. I agree. I agree.
So today we brought you on Amazon Live today. For those that are new to Amazon Live, it's basically a shopping network, almost like QVC. I hate to compare it to that, but that's where you can listen to live video and get questions answered live. But if you're on Amazon Live, down at the bottom, we have Tameka books all in our carousel. So when you click on the book down there, you can purchase that book that helps support her, and also make sure you follow us on Amazon Live. That helps us as well. But let's just go and get right to your book here, the one that I'm holding up here. This is your first book, A Mother's Prayer. And everybody always wants to know what inspired you to write this book.
Okay. Well, first, thank you for allowing me to be here this morning. I am so grateful and honored. Yes, I am biased because this is my brother-in-law, but thank you for having me on. Before I get to that book, Antoine, actually, this was my very first book.
Yeah.
My very, very first book. And this was a college project. You can see the difference that I had actually put it in book form, but this was a college project that we had to do, and we had to put it together by hand. So that was my very first book. My inspiration for the book that you were holding up, A Mother's Prayer, actually was never meant to be a book. It was really just supposed to be solely for me. It started off as my mom gave me a journal when I was going through when I was pregnant at the time with my twins, and I would come down to the house. They meet just about every Friday and Sunday before the pandemic, and I would come down and tell them these stories and my experiences I was going through with my pregnancy. And my mom gave me a journal and said, you need to write this stuff down. So one day when you're at home, you could just go back and look at it and laugh. And of course, I never did write in the journal. I didn't start writing into the journal until after I lost my twins, and I needed to get out my feelings and what I was going through. So I just started writing from there. Because I was out of work at the time, I was trying to find an avenue of what I could do. And, when you have nothing but time on your hands and you're trying to go through your healing process, I just started researching how to make a book, thinking back to when I was in college and I had to make one by hand. I just started researching how to make a book. And then I wanted to put this in book form. I wanted it in book form so I wouldn't forget. Like, I just wanted to have it with me, and I just didn't want to forget it. And I remember a friend of mine asking me, she just wanted to know more about what had happened. And I just told her to read my journal at that time. And she said, you should share this with other people. I think it would be very inspirational, and you could probably help other people by what you have in this. And that's where that came from, with me actually going through the entire process, going back, having my book edited, having someone to look at it, and then actually putting it on Amazon and going from there. So that was how we actually got started on this journey with our book.
Wow. So the book wasn't even intended. It was like, like I say, it just happened, and you used this book as a almost therapeutic, like.
Yes, it was my therapy. I was going to counseling. I had a group that I was going to. I didn't want to go to a therapist that knew nothing about or how to deal with this situation. So I actually was in a group at that time that other women had went through the same thing that I had experienced. And then later on, I did go to a therapist later on to just help me, just guide me along the way after I had been into that group. So this was my therapy. I can't express enough for people to write your feelings down. Like, if you're feeling some kind of way, I would tell anyone, write it down, whether you write it on paper, write it in your phone, write it down, talk it out. It's very, very therapeutic.
Wow, man, I tell you, you chose a good method to do it. A lot of people, when they're going through things, strike out and do things differently. But I tell you, when you're writing, I mean, it is therapeutic. I mean, I love it. So one question that I have is, how did you derive at the title of the book?
I kept going back and forth. I just didn't know what to call it. And like I said, I had someone who was helping me along the way. And I think the question he asked was, what did you find yourself doing most of? And I said, I was praying. And he said, what about something with a mother's prayer? And I said, that's what I did the entire time. I knew my mom was praying for me. I knew my family was praying for me. I know I was praying a whole lot during that time. And I said, I like that. So we went with that. And then we talked about, since I was trying to I wanted to be an inspiration at the end of the day. I said, well, I hope this is inspire someone and show
Mhm.
them that you can be vulnerable. You're gonna have those moments, you're gonna have those days that you just feel like you can't keep going, but it's also gonna show you how I lived, how I'm coping, and how I'm surviving that moment that we had in our time in our life.
That's and that's so good to share with others because
Hmm.
you don't know what others are going through when they can get
Mm-mm.
this book and see how you got through. And we know that God is no
Hmm.
respect of a person. What He done for you,
Right.
He'll do for other. So it's great that
Absolutely.
you've been encouraged that. We have a few comments in Amazon Live. I just wanted to share a few with you here.
Okay.
Somebody, Sky11, says congrats and absolutely love the books. We have a few, somebody's called Noodles says hi. And then,
Hello.
oh, and look at here, we have our next author who's going to be coming. Um, she says congratulations. All right, good.
Thank,
And then my
thank
sister
you.
Tracy says congratulations as
Hey,
well.
Tracy.
Well, what did you learn about yourself in writing the book?
um, I learned about my. I learned that it was okay to accept um, help and support from other people.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I was always looked at as the strong person,
Hmm.
so being vulnerable was not something that I was used to doing. I'm just gonna be honest. When I went through what I went through in front of people, I was a good pretender.
Hmm.
I would pretend that I was okay. I was pretending that I was strong. I was pretending that I was moving on, and but behind closed doors, I was a mess. My
Hmm.
husband could tell you I was a mess. It was just one of those things. I just didn't. I wanted people to continue to see me how they've always seen me as a strong person,
Hmm.
but in reality, it was really hurting me to be that way. So now I just live in the moment.
Yes.
I live in the moment, and if I feel like that those tears need to come, I let them come, and then I talk about it. I don't let it.
That's
I don't
good.
sit there, but I talk about it.
Hmm.
Um, Another thing that I realized as time went on, I heard a gospel singer, Jonathan McReynolds, I think is his name. Um, he said something in regards to I was doing things for God, but not doing anything with God. And that
Woo!
spoke to me because I
Mhm.
was going out and I was, saying, because of
Oh,
God,
that's
I'm
good.
doing this and stuff, but I was not taking time at home to read or
That's good.
to get better familiarized with God at that time. But I was still doing things for Him, but not getting
Mhm.
to know Him. I also learned you just don't pray when things are bad. You need to pray and thank God when things are good.
That's
And
right.
that's something I've learned along the way. Am I perfect at it? No. Do I
Mhm.
fall short every day? But that's
Mhm.
one of the things I do make sure that I get up every day and I thank God for His mercy and just watching over us and keeping us here. And my goal each day is to make a difference, whether it's at school with the kids, if it's in my own personal life with adults. It's just to change somebody's life, make a difference in
Yeah.
somebody's life each and every day. That's my goal every day before when I wake up and before I go home. That's my goal.
Yeah, and I would definitely say I see that in your life. And you really resonated with me when you talked about you were strong behind the scenes. That's the
Hmm.
same thing with me. I started this prayer group, and I
Hmm.
just never opened up to let the people know the issues that I was having.
Hmm.
And man, this prayer group, I've been in there boohooing like a baby, crying. But it showed me that hey, I don't have to be the strong one.
No,
God is looking out for you, and you'll never know what you can go through. I mean,
that's right.
but when He's with you, He's strengthening you. So that's why I
Right.
really love that footprints in the sand. Boy, it really is so true.
Hmm.
When we only see
Hmm.
one set, that is the time that He's carrying us. Now, I know you could probably tell us some time that you didn't think you were going to make it through there, but the Lord
Oh
took
yeah,
care of you.
absolutely. I mean, that the whole process of grief is 1 minute you're okay, 1 minute you're not, 1 minute you're mad. Now, I've I tell people, because I used to be a mentor through a group called Heartstrings, where they are partner you up with someone who's went through something similar.
Mhm.
And I would tell people, scream, shout,
That's it.
cry, do whatever you want to do. I said, if you want to um, tear up some stuff, do that. I said, just keep in mind, you might want to tear up your own items, and just keep in mind you're gonna have to replace those things. But
That's
you
right.
know, get it out. Don't let it just sit there and you never release it. That's what holds you down. That's what um makes you go possibly into depression. Just make sure you get it out the best way that you can. And I've been there, done that. And it'll be going on 8 years, and sometimes I still find myself, I'm not like I was years ago, but I've learned how to cope.
Yeah,
But it's still one of those things you go through, and it's still one of those things you question from time to time.
that's
And
right.
and I see a different picture, or I guess a better light now. I feel like I see that we're going in a totally different direction. Whatever God's plan is for me at the end of the day.
That's right. So I just wanted to know, because I would really love to write a book.
Mhm.
How long did this book take to write?
So my first book didn't, to me, it didn't take that long, because like I said, it was a journal and I just wrote, and I was at home.
Mhm.
So I just wrote and wrote. I wrote until I just couldn't write anymore. And then I wrote some more. I want to say, for my first book, when I finished writing my journal, it might have took me a week to get it all out.
Wow.
Everything in the journal that I wanted to share. And that's the thing. I
Mhm.
put so much out there in my journal, but when I got ready to do the book itself, there are bits and pieces that I left out of the book, which actually went into
Okay.
book two. Um, there were
Okay.
some things, I'm gonna be honest with you, I just was not comfortable with sharing. And then I
Mhm.
finally decided to share in book two, because again, I said, this is a lot of stuff that women are going through. This probably could help someone, and it's nothing to be ashamed about. But I had to get to that point before I
Right.
did that. The whole process, because I was at home and I was not working, I don't think it
Okay.
took probably for me to be able to go into the book. I think it's Create Space on Amazon, and you put it in there, and to get it edited, and it didn't take long at all. I'm gonna say maybe 2 weeks tops for me, because I
Wow.
didn't have any other obligations at that time. Now, book
Right.
two, different story. Totally different
Okay.
story. I was still journaling. I was going back answering questions that people had asked me about for book one. And then
Mhm.
I was working. So it took me a lot longer, because I needed to find the time to actually write.
Yeah.
And to be honest, once the pandemic hit, that's when
Mhm.
I found time to actually finish book two. So I might have been working on book two for a year or so. Like, I would write and then not write for maybe a month or so, and then write some more. Um, and then maybe not pick it up again for 2, 3 months. I was not in a hurry with either of the books. So then I finally was able to finish everything and get it published last year.
Okay.
Again, during the pandemic, because I had a more time. I wasn't constrained, with the work and stuff like that. And I have a 6-year old, and so I was able to balance it better last year. So
Okay.
then I finally just said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish it. Said to myself, I wanted to at least have it finished by the end of the year, and I think I finished it earlier than that. And then I just published it, but didn't release it or anything. I was just still taking my time
Okay.
with before I was telling people that I had another book out.
Right. And I'm a little upset. I don't have the second book. Yeah, when I was pulling your books up, she got 3 books here. I'm like, oh man, because I read the first book here, and
Yes.
so that was my question. How do you announce your books?
So, so Antoine, you're not the only one. So when you put up that you were going to be speaking, interviewing me live, I got phone calls, I got text messages. Oh, the people were upset with me. And how long have you had book two? And why didn't you tell
Yeah.
anybody? And I said, well, you have to blame it on my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law was going to interview me on book 1, and when he was researching the book on Amazon, he found book 2. So I actually have a guy who's working on a video for me to do my book 2. And we just didn't set a deadline. I just told him when we were just working through some things, and I just said, whenever you're finished, because he asked me, did I have a time frame? And I said, no. I said, whenever it's right, it's just going to be right. I want everything to be perfect when I do release it. So we didn't put in a deadline on anything. So he's still currently working on that part for me. And it's just something I was going to share like I did with the first one. It was just a small video. I shared it on Facebook, and that's how I was, going to put it out to people. But thank you, Antoine.
Oh, well, I'm going to definitely order it. I mean, I see it here. I hope one of our winners. We're going to take a break right now for everybody that's on Amazon Live. If you would put, just type Tameka, and we will add you to our giveaway. We're going to be giving away a $5 Amazon gift card right now. So, I'm showing you my secrets here. Hold on. So as you can see the screen here, as you enter on Amazon Live, if you're watching anywhere else like on Facebook or YouTube, come on over to Amazon Live. You can get there by going to amazon.com/live and just look for me and Tameka. So if you want to be entered in the contest for a $5 Amazon gift card, just simply type Tameka, and we'll add your name to our wheel here, and we'll see if you win. All right, we're going to give you a few minutes to queue that up here. I see one. We have Noodles in here. Let's see here. We got Noodles in the list. All right, anybody else? Come on. Okay, we got Sky. Sky has entered the list. Tameka, can you see that?
I can.
Okay, so we got Sky 11 in the list. Come on. Who else want to enter this? We got Evangelist Eula. This is our next author that's going to be coming up. Can't wait for that interview. Thank you for joining. Make sure you join as well. We have Tracy enter. Okay, let me see. I'm typing Tameka name, Lord.
You are.
I'm not even following I'm not even following the rules here, guys. I'm doing this with one hand. I don't know what I'm doing. So give us, let's see here. So let me see here. Boy, they're coming in, Tameka. I'm trying to type them fast here. All right. So let me see here. UNEALA. Okay. Then we got, did I get Tracy? Okay. We got Tracy.
No, you didn't get Tracy.
Okay. There's Tracy. And then we got, let's see here. I can't pronounce this name, but I'll type it in. Tameka, you may know this person. ELNA.
Talina.
All right.
Talina,
yeah.
Oh, so, Talina.
Right. Talina, if you want to enter the $5 Amazon gift card, enter your name, enter Tameka, the name Tameka, into the Amazon Live, and we will enter you into the wheel. You got a good chance right now. How many entries we got there, Tameka?
It looks like 5.
All right, we got 5 entries. I'm going to give you 2 more minutes. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, come on over to amazon.com/live, and that'll get you right to us. Or to take you directly to us, you could go to computerpile.live, and then just scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see our current one. I'm going to give you 1 more minute, and then we're going to hit this wheel and spin here and see who wins this $5 Amazon gift card. And thank you for those that has followed. Thank you. So, all right, Tameka, you ready?
Yes, let's go.
We're going to click this wheel to spin, and we'll get back to the interview.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's see who wins the $5. All right, Tylena, congratulations. Congratulations. You have won the $5 Amazon gift card. Simply email us at live@computerpile.live, and we will get that gift card out to you right after this interview. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
And right back to the interview. Here's one of the things I wanted to ask. What was one of the hardest things in writing the book? What was like the hardest thing in writing the book?
I would say for me, reliving it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, I was writing the book as a journal, but I just didn't want to forget what had happened.
Yeah.
Um, and like I said, for book one, things that was in my journal when I got ready to do the book, I left certain things out.
Mm-hmm.
But then book two, I put those things in there. Like for instance, our IVF process that we went through. I didn't tell people that up front. Um,
Mm-hmm.
why I didn't tell people that up front? Because honestly, I was embarrassed and I talk about that. It was one of these things behind closed doors I talked to my husband about, that I felt like I could do anything else in life besides have a child. People didn't realize or know either. In my first book, I never mentioned this, but I mentioned in my second book that I had already had 2 miscarriages prior to.
Mm-hmm.
So it was those type things that I put in there because I was like, someone else needs to hear this.
That's right.
Hopefully, this will be helpful to someone else. I would never forget one of the reasons I never mentioned anything about the IVF process is I remember speaking to someone we were just having a general conversation and the IVF process came up, but I never told them we had done IVF process. And I was currently pregnant. And I just remember this person saying, I wouldn't want to do IVF because you pay all that money and then what if it doesn't work or it's not guaranteed to work? So then in my mind, I was like, I said to myself, I would never tell anyone that that's the process we use.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a
Right.
relief for me. It was something that weighed heavy on me. I kept thinking I shouldn't be embarrassed by this, just living your truth. I tell everybody all the
There
time,
you
living your
go.
truth,
There you
and be
go.
unapologetic about it. But I wasn't living in my truth, so I decided to.
Man, I
So.
mean that you're dropping knowledge here. The truth shall make you free. And that
Mhm.
I love what you say. So many people are living in these fantasy worlds, and like I say,
Right.
when you get on Facebook and social media, you think people just living a life, but you don't know
Mhm.
what they're going through. Now, you
Mm-mm.
said what was that process, and explain what that process. You're using the acronym. What is that process? The
So
IV.
IVF, it stands for in vitro fertilization. And basically, what it was, my husband and I, we went through series of tests. So we had been together for years. I'm not going to say I could never get pregnant. I never got pregnant. So after going to the doctor, I did tell my husband, I said, I hope something's wrong with you. I did say that to him, but nothing was wrong with him. And they said it was
Right.
nothing wrong with me. It said it's all about timing, but we had been together for years and never got pregnant.
Mhm.
Um, we decided, they said it depends on if you want to try to move this along or you just want to continue to wait.
Mhm.
So we decided to try the process to see what would happen. And what they do is actually just take my eggs, his sperm, and they put them together and they just, then they insert that into me. And then you just wait to see if it takes. And I can't remember how many eggs that we had or how many embryos that we had left, but they asked did we want to do one or you wanted to do two, and we went with two because my hope was that hopefully one out of the two would take,
Right.
and both took, which we were
Mhm.
surprised at, but we was like, okay, this is wonderful.
Mhm.
So that's what that process is. It's a long process, I would say too. It's emotional. I would say I went
Yeah.
through all different types of emotions with it and with the medicine and stuff like that. So that's the process that we went through, and like I said, everything was going fine until further along in the inside of the pregnancy when things went. I think when I was 4 or 5 months when things went wrong for
Okay.
us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's documented in the first or your second book again?
So I never spoke on the IVF process in my first book. I
Okay.
spoke about it in my second book, though. I did
That's
speak
why I
about it in
didn't
my
say
second
it.
book.
I knew it wasn't in the first, but I wanted to see what you were about
No,
to say.
no,
All right,
it's
I'll
in my
put it in
second
the
book.
second book. Okay.
Yes, it's in the second book, not the first book. No,
Okay.
my
Come on.
first book is solely about the whole journey about me being pregnant and what happened with my daughters and my feelings with, when they were born and when they passed and stuff. So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
all in my first book.
Okay.
And I think I talk a little bit about my foundation. And then
Yeah.
in book 2, I talk a little bit more about that process, my feelings, how I felt about things, the reason why we went through the process. And then I talk a little bit more about our surrogate, and then how we actually ended up getting Aiden and how
Oh,
that process
wow.
went. Yeah.
I
And
am
his
ordering.
autism.
I'm ordering book 2 right after this for sure. I can't wait to, if you haven't got this series, folks, you better jump on it. And you can gift this to someone that may need some encouragement. So
Yeah.
click on that carousel down at the bottom and order these books. You might get yours before I do, but I will definitely be getting it. But now, as you mentioned, my little buddy Aiden, tell
Yes.
us a little bit about Aiden.
Aiden is a highly energetic 6-year-old who has autism. And most people, when they first meet him, can't tell that he has autism, but he does. He's actually on that spectrum. But he's the sweetest little kid. I like to call he's just like a little everyday boy. Thus why one of the reasons I'm down at my mom's house doing the interview today, because he already woke up and asked me where was I going, and I couldn't tell him I was coming down Mimi's house because I knew he was
Right.
going to want to come. So, but he is currently in 1st grade and he's thriving and doing a great job, loves school, loves to play, loves to do any and try anything, loves to run with his papa.
Oh,
So
he loved Papa.
oh yeah, he loves Papa. He really does love Papa.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our Aiden.
Mhm.
That is our Aiden.
Oh man, well that's good. We had a comment here from Atavius Polzer saying good morning to you. Hello
Good
there.
morning.
So one of the things I love this first book. I tell you, as you put the other one up there about that blue one, that's
Yeah.
the one me and my wife got in our book. I ordered this one. We ordered this one from Amazon. But I do like that blue covering. But tell us a little bit about this book, because as I became part of your family and really love your guys' family, just the closeness that you guys have.
Right.
And your book is called Friday and Sunday, and it talks about your grandmother.
Yes.
So give us a little insight about this book. This is a great book, guys. Get this book.
So, as I had stated earlier, so this is what it originally looked like. This is, I mean, you could see we had to put it all together, the
Yeah,
pages and everything.
I
And
love it.
I had a little illustrator who drew the pictures back then. But this book came about, it was a college project. We had to think of a topic to talk about, and I brainstormed and could not think of anything to talk about besides, I said, I just talk about my grandma, as I remember the day that she actually passed away. And so I put that into a book form for my college project. And I named it Friday and Sunday because we used to go over my grandmother's house every Friday
Yeah.
and every Sunday. Rain, sometimes in the snow, but we always was over there. Fridays, we used to eat at Pete's. I think then it might have been called Pete's Burgers and More or something like that. And on Sunday, we always had it was a home cooked meal on Sundays. So I talked about my experience of how that happened. Of, my grandmother was our matriarch of the family. And this is my grandmother on my mother's side, and how we would go over there and meet, like I said, on Fridays and Sundays. And then this particular day, I remember when she got sick and she was in the hospital. I talk about my dad. I played basketball, and my dad would come. He worked 3rd shift, but he was at every basketball game I had, especially my home games.
Okay.
In this particular game, he was not there. I remember looking in the stands and not seeing him there, but didn't think much about it. That was also my highest scoring game. I was in middle school. It was my highest scoring game that game. I remember it vividly. I remember after the game, my uncle was there. My dad's brother, Bishop, was there. And I asked him where was my dad, and he told me that he needed to take me over to my grandmother's house. So we get in the car and no one says anything, and we get there, and I remember how gloomy and stuff, how sad things looked when we approached, and I just remember going in the house and everybody was crying, and I saw my mom, and then that's when she proceeded to let us know that our we call her Ma, that she had passed away, and I went from there. So I just talked about it, that story and that experience, and called it Friday and Sunday. So that book is about my grandmother on my mom's side.
Well, one thing I really love about the book is, I mean, you took a tragic event and put it really in terms that kids can relate to. We like to give the kids all these nice, pretty pictures, but life happens, and you put it in a way that's not scary to them. But I mean, it's a great book. I recommend, schools should have this book and let the kids read it and let them know how to cope with things. So I agree. I love it. I
agree. Thank you for that. And my illustrator for the new book was Jate Thomas, who is my cousin. I talked to him about because I wanted to rewrite the book since I now know how to publish the book. I said I'm gonna redo the book, and again, I wasn't gonna sell the book. I actually created it for my family, my aunts and my uncles, and gave it to them as a Christmas present this year. So then someone saw it and was like, you should let other people see it. So that's how that came about with that. But they were very happy. I mailed it off to them and just told them it was a Christmas gift to them. I think of just about all my family on my mom's side has this book, at least, that they had on their shelf, that I had to make. And then I tried to give everyone else the new book as well. So
I still got that blue one from. I mean, that was a great gift. And I told Tanya, tell her to publish that book. So when it was so happy to get it, and when we ordered it, I'm telling you, get that book. We're got a few more questions on your book, and then we're gonna switch to your organization here. Now, I mean, you are super busy. So I'm trying to figure out, how did you get time to write? Now, I know you said you wrote one during the pandemic, but then your second one, you were back at school, you run an organization, which we're going to talk about next. How did you find time to write, and when did you do it?
So my first book, remember, I was out of work, so I had plenty of time. My second book actually happened during the pandemic. We had days where, we were out of work. We weren't in the building. So I just took time. Those days, I just took time to just finish writing. And again, I didn't put a time constraint on it either. I didn't say it needs to be done by this particular day. So I just wrote as much as I could. And then I said to myself, I would at least want it done before Christmas, which then had me go back and do the Friday and Sunday book. I said, you know what, I'm going to do this book and give it as a Christmas gift. So then I had to work with Jate to see what his schedule was to do at least the pictures and illustrations for me. But we was able to work it out and get it all done before the end of the year. So I would tell anyone, because I did have someone else reach out to me about wanting to write a book. And that was one of the things he kept saying, I just don't find the time. And I said, well, anytime, I said, we make time for what we want to do.
There you go.
If you really want to write this book, and you really have that book inside you want to get out, then you need to at least take, even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you need to carve out that time sometime in your day, whether it's during your break at work, or even if it's at home and you can just carve out 15 minutes just to write, go ahead and write it. One thing I would tell people is, when you are writing, don't worry about if you said something right, you spelled it correctly, just write. When you go back later, once you're done, you can go in and fill in gaps. Like, oh, I forgot to mention this. You can fill in that gap. You can then correct your sentence structures, or a word that you left out, or the spelling. I would just say write, then go back in to do your edits and stuff like that. Don't worry about that as you're going along.
Wow, that's great advice. Just write. and then get it out and go back and do the editing, because that's how it is when I'm doing outlines. I just put my thoughts down and then I go back and edit it. So that's real good. I just wanted to show you this comment from Amazon Live. I think you're gonna like this. This is from our next author that's going to be coming up, Evangelist. I can't pronounce the name, Inela. And she says, I brought all 3 books and look forward to reading them. Wow.
Thank you, Evangelist. Thank you.
That is all right. She is great. I actually had conversations with her. We were talking. She is excellent. I can't read her book, and you're going to love her book. Actually, I got it right here. I'm just going to show it. I'm giving you a quick segment here. Her book says, Victory in the Name of Jesus. Look, how do you pronounce that name for me, Tameka?
Don't ask me. I butcher names every day at school. I'm gonna be honest. I butcher names every day at school.
When I read that,
butcher it once or twice.
When I read that title, I said that's going to be a great interview. That's right up my alley.
That's going to be awesome.
So, guys, we're actually going to take a quick break here. I want to show you. This is our next segment we're going to talk about. So I want you to watch this video, and then we'll start talking about it. So here we go. Let me see if I know what I'm doing, Tameka.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My name is Tameka Goods. I am from Reedsville, North Carolina, and my foundation is actually called SNK Premium Foundation. And I started this foundation in memory of my twin daughters who passed away back in 2013.
Hi, everybody. My name is Stefania Williams. I do work with the SNK Premium Foundation. Basically, what our foundation does is it does give you information about pregnancy and infant awareness loss. And what that is, of course, just babies that were born prematurely and unfortunately passed away due to complications.
So SNK Premium Foundation is a foundation that gives to Rockingham County and surrounding counties. I am all about reaching students and helping them in any way possible by keeping their dreams and aspirations alive.
We do give a lot of scholarships away.
Wendy Weatherman. So with the scholarships, it just depends. It could be for some type of camp. We try to keep it for whatever that's going to help you continue to progress in school, or whatever's going to help you keep your dream alive is what we try to do.
We're here today for SNK Premium Foundation's 5K Star and Angel Walk /Run. We do this each year in honor of Infant and Pregnancy Loss Awareness Month. It is one of the foundation's fundraisers that we use to raise money and resources to help and support some youth and children in our community.
We have a banner. We have people sign that banner. We have people to possibly wear T-shirts. Some people have worn tutus in memory of one of their children or someone that they know that's very close to them that has passed away. And again, it's to get the word out. Just get the word out. I know October is known for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but it's also Miscarriage and Infant Loss Awareness Month as well that a lot of people don't know. And the colors for that month is pink and blue for Infant and Miscarriage Awareness Month. We do that every year. We do a rainbow tea, and then we trickle in other events such as the basketball tournament to get the men involved. I know that women go through it, but they do have spouses or a significant other that helps them with the process. One of our events that we do have is the Star and Angel Bowl. It's a field day-like activity for us to have fun, probably be in some pain afterwards or whatever, but we do like to spread the positivity throughout the community, but also we still want to make people aware. I'm trying to get as many people in on miscarriages and infant loss that goes on. I don't think people are really aware of how often this happens. So just getting them aware of that. Actually, when I pick my captains, I actually have them play in memory of a child that has passed away. And that's for every event. I try to get them to remember or play in memory or honor of someone who has passed away, a child. So we're trying to make it be fun and entertaining, but also not lose focus of why we're doing it and to give back.
But I would say anyone who wants to start a foundation or just to do something to help others, just keep at it, just keep going, keep God first, keep people tight and close to you. And like I said, I always keep coming back to keeping those dreams and aspirations alive, because that's what keeps me going. That's what I know is our focus, and that's what I want people to do, pour into others.
Wow, man, I tell you, I love that video.
A seamless way.
Thank you.
I got this other window going on. Well, good. I mean, I'm so excited to talk about this now. I've been waiting to get to this part as well. But this is SNK Premium Foundation. You know, all that you've been through, you still want to give. So you started this foundation, SNK Premium Foundation. Talk about it and tell us why everybody should get involved.
So I started SNK Premium Foundation. I actually wanted to just do a scholarship in memory of my daughters. And after talking to several people, this is where I ended up going, is to the foundation aspect of it. And all we want to do is, I always have given back to other foundations. I've always did things within my own school. So this was just another way to give back. And so our foundation gives back to our youth, where we are wanting to make sure that we are keeping those dreams and aspirations alive, that we are trying to nurture those goals that they have in their lives, and just giving them that type of support that they need. My goal eventually was to make sure that we could extend it beyond Rockingham County, and we have been able to. The more we get the word out, we are able to provide support and resources to youth outside of our county. But again, it's all about giving back, and that's what I've always loved to do, was to give back.
Yeah. So how long has the organization been around now?
We started the organization in 2014. I lost my girls in 2013, and we actually started it in 2014.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I just love your website. Who did your website?
Well, I have to give a special shout out to none other than Antoine Speller for my website. And that's one thing I have to say. When I thought about this organization and how to get it started, my family and friends were on board from the jump. Whatever I needed from them, they were willing to help out. And who better to go to get my website started and knew something about a website than my own brother-in-law. I am grateful and thankful for you too, because you keep that up and running. And I know now DeAndre, he's helping me out in some parts of that as well. So I have been very, truly blessed with that. From you all to keep that up, because I had nowhere, I didn't know where to start. So I'm glad that you knew about that aspect of that, the website and stuff for me. I do want to give a special shout out to Jay Snaps. He was the one who did the video for me for the foundation. So he did some great work. He came to several events to capture those moments. And when he presented it to me, we just had an interview like we're having now, and he just asked different questions. And when he presented it and gave it to me, I was like, wow, this is phenomenal. So
yeah, we got to use that, man. I tell you, I would love to have him create one for me as well.
Yeah.
I did have a comment down here. And Evangelist Unila, she Unila, thank you for telling us how to pronounce that. And she said she loved the video. Keep up the good work. And we had Ricky join. He says good morning. So man, I tell you. So one of the events, tell us the different events that, or fundraisers that you have for your organization, and also how can people support your foundation?
Okay. Anybody can go to our website at www.skplove.org, and they could donate at any time that they would like to. But some of our fundraisers that we had prior to the pandemic was we always have our yearly rainbow tea, which is if anyone is familiar with goes to church and you have the rainbow tea to raise funds for the church, we just have a rainbow tea for our foundation. And I select different captains or people who tell me they want to be involved, and we raise money that way. We have had our basketball tournament to get the men involved, because if you put some sports in there, they will come.
Yeah.
And I've been actually getting calls about, is the basketball tournament going on? And we're not, because we're in the middle of the pandemic. We just need to be safe. But I'm hoping that maybe we can bring that back next year. Another fundraiser that we used to have was our Star and Angel Bowl. And man, was that fun. That was so much fun. We actually stopped it. Our last Star and Angel Bowl was in 2019. We were saying that was going to be the last one. And then 2020, we were thinking about bringing it just for the kids. Like, we have an adult that would be a captain. So that's something we still may do once things open back up. And we got the pandemic under control. A couple of other ones might have been, we've had a gospel explosion before. We have participated in a softball league, and they had a scholarship for whoever won, and we won that league, and then we donated that scholarship to someone who had applied for one of our scholarships but didn't get it. So we ended up giving that scholarship away to them. So those are mainly our fundraisers we do try to have. Another one we do is our 5K walk. And that is our Star and Angel Miscarriage and Infant Loss Awareness Walk. And that is going to be held on October the 9th. We are doing it virtual. We did it virtual last year. We're going to do it virtual again this year. But what they can do is they can, the week of October the 2nd through the 9th, you can go ahead and walk your 5K. You can split it up over time. You can walk it, you can run it, you can ride a bike. It's really up to you, except for being in a car, because I've had somebody ask me that. No, but it's really up to you how you want to do your 5K. If you want to do it within that week, or if you would like to join us on October the 9th at 9 a.m. and go live with us to do your 5K then. I am going to give out a scholarship for whoever registers. We're going to do a scholarship for someone that's in school, and we would get your name and then get information about the child that you would like to win that scholarship. We are giving out an award for the best t-shirt or best outfit or theme during that walk as well. So we look forward to that walk every year. I can't wait till we have it in person again, so we can go back to our color run and meet with people in person again.
Yeah, like in that video, it showed that event where you had the color run.
Yeah.
And I got to just encourage everyone. I've never done a 5K, but Tameka got me to do a 5K last year. And guess who won the t-shirt contest, the t-shirt design last year?
You did. That t-shirt was nice. That t-shirt was nice.
It cost me some money. I had the guy design it. I tell you, I like put your foot in it, and he did.
Right.
It was so nice. DeAndre and Joshua wanted her shirt.
I think I wanted a shirt. I wanted a shirt.
My sister would say, "Hey, where you get that shirt from? Where did you get that shirt from?" But I'm looking forward to doing it again. I have been in training, but I don't know if I'm gonna beat that score from last year. So
that's all it is. Set a goal and try to aim for it. That's it.
That's it. So wherever you are, if you listen, guys, please sign up for this event. As Tameka said, it's virtually. You can do it at home or you can do it live, and it helps support this foundation. And I'm a board member on this foundation. And what I have seen this organization do, it is changing lives. I know you had one young lady at one of the scholarship dinner come in, and man, I'm telling you, I was just so impressed with her. She actually wrote a book on how to get money for scholarships. Can you tell us a little about what she's doing and all?
I think this Danielle Jefferson. She was one of our first scholarship recipients. So with that scholarship, we gave out $1,000, and she was one of those recipients. And she actually went to Virginia Tech. And what she did throughout the year, she said so that she could pay for school because they weren't in a financial situation to do so. She went and aimed for all types of scholarships. And with that, she was actually able to pay for her whole college tuition herself through scholarships. So with not one loan, she actually competed in different scholarship events and to get more scholarships. And then she decided she was going to write a book. And I think she has a website too, and I don't know it right off, but it actually helps kids go about writing a scholarship, making sure that they're writing to what the scholarship is asking them, which is a huge big deal. And just how to go about finding those different scholarships so that you could possibly go, on someone else's dime at that, while you're in school. So she's done a wonderful job. I was so glad she was able to come back and speak for us. I had tried to get her one other year, but it was a conflict in schedules, but she was actually able to come and see her. And I try to send people to her as much as I can when, like I said, she paid for her whole college tuition through scholarships and grants that she was able to obtain.
Yeah, I was so impressed by her talking. Man, I tell you, and that's what it is. You don't want to, go to college and get in debt. There's a lot of money out there, like your organization providing scholarships. You just got to get out there and look. It's a job, so you got to get out there and look. One other thing I wanted to talk as we're winding up here. What inspiration could you give those as you leave? Like what type of inspiration could you give someone no matter what they're going through? What would you tell them?
Never give up. I tell anyone, never give up. The sky is the limit. If you can see it, you can have it. Put some perspective on what you're aiming for, put some things in place and keep going. I would tell anyone if the road was going to be easy, everyone would be doing it. And that's not the case. So never give up. Keep God first. And I think if you get a good support system, anything is possible. And I mean, anything is possible.
Boy, that's it. I agree with you. The support system, keeping God first and keep going. I think a lot of people don't think we have bad days, but we do. But you just got to take the good with the bad and keep trucking. Never quit, never stop. That's good.
True. You in control of your own destiny.
That's exactly right. So, Tameka, it has been a pleasure. I really didn't want this to end.
Thank you.
But I know you're busy and got a busy schedule. I know Aiden's ready to get down to Mama, Papa's house.
Oh yeah. Fun.
We had here's a comment that just came in here. I'll just put here. Can't wait to get your 2 books. Oh man, this is good. Thank you, Kathy Robbins, for that thing. I'm telling you, I
used to work with her.
Oh, good.
So hey, Kathy. Well, I call her Miss Joyce. She know I don't like to call her by her first name, but she was an inspiration to me when I was in school. When I was actually teaching, she taught right beside me and has always been very supportive. One thing I didn't mention is that we donate pillows to the hospital. And my mom had started sewing the pillows, and she's one of those who said if she could figure it out, she would help. So then she started sewing pillows as well. We haven't been able to give them since the pandemic, but that was something we gave to the hospitals to give to those families who either it was up to them, either they lost their child and they get the pillow, or they had a baby and they would give them the little heart-shaped pillows that we donated. But she helped out tremendously. So thank you so much, Miss Joyce, for always being so supportive.
That is so wonderful. I mean, that's why I say I love this organization so much. I have one, Jawan have one. I told Tanya, I say, I got to get off of one of these organizations, but they're doing such good work. I say, I can't do it. I just love this organization. I know you don't want to talk about this, but your rainbow tea this year raised the most ever. I mean, you want to talk about that real quick?
I can. Like I said, my rainbow tea is one of my largest fundraisers that we have. And I had Miss Nikki.
Yeah.
She has been one of those who's been pushing me every year to raise my goal. And I'm one of those set a attainable, reachable goal. So my goal to me has always been maybe 5,000. The first couple of years we didn't reach it. I didn't have a definite goal, but then as time went on, I would say, okay, it's just going to be 5,000. And last year during the pandemic, I was going to cancel the Rainbow Tea because people were out of work, and I was just like, I just don't feel comfortable, just asking people to donate. But then I was also concerned on how would we give out our scholarships to our kids, that year. And she said, let's do it. Whatever we raise is what we raise. I think you should just go ahead with it. So we did. And my goal was, I didn't set a goal last year, but we had raised over, I think it was 9,000 last year. So she told me, she said, you should set your goal at 10. I was like, I don't know about that. So originally my goal started out at 8,000 to represent 8 years for my twins, because it would be 8 years. They would have been turning 8 years old. And then the more I thought about it, I said, I'm going to try 10. Either we reach it or we don't. And this year, we not only reached it, but surpassed it. We actually raised, I think it was $11,805.21. So I was so thankful. I was overjoyed, and I was like, this is phenomenal. I just could not believe it. So with that money, I just feel like we're going to be able to bless so many more kids. And so far to date, I think we have been able to give, I think it was about 57 kids a scholarship, where we've been able to give out a little over $46,000 in scholarships. And that's probably not including like scholarships to field trips and other things, but just scholarships to college, whether they were undergrad or a graduate student. We've been able to do that. My goal is, though, Antoine, in 2023, I would like to give out at least $10,000. I'm not sure. I'm praying about it, because I don't know if I want to bless one child with a $10,000 scholarship, or I want to bless 10 kids with $1,000 a piece. But I do want to do that because that in 2023 it will mark 10 years for the twins. So that's my goal for 2023. So
there you
hopefully
go.
I'll see a clear picture soon.
Well, we're not going to reach to the stars. We're going to reach to the heavens, and we're going to be praying with you on that. And I believe that will happen. So, I mean, as we end this interview, I just advise everyone to click on that carousel, order these books. I'm going to be the first one to order my number 2 book. Give me a sweet, we're feeling generous here today. So what we're going to do, we're going to give another book. If you're on Amazon Live and you followed us during this session, send us a screenshot to live@computerpile.live, and you will be entered into that second drawing. But Tylena won the first book. Tylena, if you're still here, make sure you just send us an email to live@computerpile.live so we can get that out. So Tameka, you got the last parting words, and I'll let you go.
Just want to say thank you for interviewing me today. I sat there and I woke up real early. It was like, oh, I hope I can answer whatever he asked me. And then I prayed about it. I did pray. I said, Lord, just let it come out however naturally it needs to come out. But thank you so much for allowing me to share my experiences, share about my books and my foundation. I really do appreciate you.
Well,
and thank you to everyone for their kind comments and those who purchased the book or plan to purchase the book, and your prayers. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm so excited. Tanya told me one thing: you better not make her cry. and then DeAndre say, "Dad, this is an easy interview. Tameka." Well, I got to tell you, I was a little nervous. You're pretty starstruck. I tell you, you ride deep. Your support is really good. And I tell you, I just appreciate you taking the time to come on the show today.
Not a problem. Not a
problem.
All
right. Well, you have a blessing. I'm sure we'll be talking to you later. Take
care. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
That was Tameka Goods from SNK Premium Love. She wrote 3 books that I'm telling you are dynamite. I have 2 of them. As you notice, I just found out about the second one. I will be getting that and can't wait to read that. But I advise you guys to get this book, pass it along to others, give and it shall be given unto you. And I pray that you have a blessed day.